Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Full Count, Sports Memo's MLB betting coverage show, coming to you live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be covering baseball with some of the best handicappers, analysts, columnists, and bettors on the planet. We're going to be giving out free picks on several games for today's card, and plenty of time for you to get down to those free picks. I'm your host, world champion handicapper, Las Vegas's biggest daily sports bettor, Joe D'Amico. And joining me today, we've got an all-star Monday cast. We got the body himself, Mr. Jesse Schule, and Jeff Michaels, a.k.a. JM Sports. Good afternoon, guys. Happy Monday to you both. Jesse, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Had a great Father's Day last night.
Well, happy Father's Day to you and Jeff. Jeff, happy Father's Day. How's your Monday going, buddy?
Good. I can't complain.
Well, it is an all-star panel today. Just before the show, we were discussing football and some different situations in the NFL. Speaking of the NFL, guys, you know, saving your money is just as good as making your money. And we are right around the corner from college and pro football. Early bird pricing for the NFL and college football combo is $7.99 over at SportsMemo. You see it flashing across the bottom of your screen, but it just doesn't stop there. Guys, you go and sign up with this with your favorite capper or cappers, and you're also going to get a slew of wager bets. Just use code football100 upon checkout. On top of that, guys, we have a few things that we want to run by you. We're very excited about. Sports Memo is so close to 5,000 subscribers. Help us reach our goal by hitting that subscribe button, guys. And trust me, tomorrow, $2 Tuesday, I believe we have Mikey Sports, Pure Luck, and Rocky Atkinson. You get each one of those winning cappers, documented winning cappers, plays for $2 or all three for just $5. Guys, that is amazing. The customer appreciation you receive from Sports Memo is unrivaled. Today, we're going to be going into 3 roundtable games, my friends. And Jesse and Jeff are going to be giving you their angles on those games. Then we have our best bet segments where Jesse, Jeff, and I will be chiming in with our best bet of today. So without any further ado, let's go to our first of 3 roundtable games, my friends. The Yankees at the Rays. Currently, guys, Jesse and I were talking about this just before the show. New York, 11-game lead, best record in all of baseball, 49-17. You know, they lost yesterday. They lost late in the game. The last 2 times they happened to get a loss, they ran on a 7-game and a 9-game win streak. So I'm interested to see what Jesse has on this game. Jesse, Yankees, Rays, New York, 135, 6.5. Take it away, Jess.
Well, you're absolutely right, Joe. They did blow a big lead last night in Toronto or yesterday afternoon. And they're going to be a popular bet today. A lot of people are going to want to back the Yankees coming off of that loss. They are 19-7 in their last 26 coming off a loss. And, of course, they're sending Garrett Cole out there. He's 6-1 with a 3.33 ERA. He's tied for 5th in the majors with 91 strikeouts. So the Yankees, best team in baseball at this price with Garrett Cole on the mound, look attractive to most people. But Shane McClanahan going for the Rays, his numbers are just as good or better than Cole's. And he's coming off back-to-back really solid starts against the Yankees. But the angle that I see here is a little bit different, not what most people are probably going to look at. And that is the fact that both of these pitchers, their last start came against the team they're facing today, and it's going to be the 3rd time in just a couple weeks that these lineups are going to get a look at these exact same pitchers. And anytime that happens, I like to back the over because I'm thinking that these major league hitters, when they get a 3rd look at a starting pitcher in less than 2 weeks or just over 2 weeks, they should see something that they can exploit. And it's a low number today, 6.5. 2 solid offenses, of course, the Yankees with those big bats. And yeah, with those hitters getting a 3rd look at McClanahan in 2 weeks, I like the chances of seeing some runs scored.
Sports fans, Jesse Schule, who's all over the Sports Memo leaderboard, says he likes the over in this game. And it is a low total. They're begging you to go over 6.5. Good breakdown, good analysis, Jesse, as usual. Thank you. Jeff, JM Sports, Yankees, Rays, New York, 135. Jesse says he's taking the over of 6.5. Let's see your take on this game, please.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny. The sides play on this game is actually my top play over on the premium site. So I'm focusing a little more on the total today for Full Count too. But that 3rd start factor was the one thing that stuck out in my head to that over. But I don't know. With these 2 teams, I really do. Trends have kind of pointed to the under. They've gone under in 5 out of their 7 head-to-head games this season. We know both starting pitchers can pitch, like Jesse said, and both bullpens have ERAs under 3. And even though New York's bullpen got hit yesterday, with Boone as their manager, they're 13-28 over/under after a game where the bullpen got rocked for 5 runs or more. And when you look at McClanahan's stats for the over/under record this year, I mean, they're just never ending. He's 4-8 over/under in his 12 starts this year. He's got a 1.84 ERA. He's 3-17 in the last 2 years over/under against teams over 500. 2-10 when the money line's between plus and minus 125. So in those close games, he's coming out. And he's 4-13 over/under against teams hitting 1.25 home runs or more per game in the last 2 years. And he's holding those teams to under 3 runs a game. So he's really kind of been able to neutralize that deep threat ball, which goes, alongside the Tampa Bay Tampa Bay 6-16 over/under against the division this year. So they just haven't been able to put up runs against the AL East either.
Sports fans, very good breakdown from Jeff. Jeff is doing some great work over at SportsMemo. Guys, follow him. Use some of those customer appreciation discounts. Very good breakdown. We have our first game of the round table segment in the books. Sports fans, go over to SportsMemo after the show, sportsmemo.com, for more information about daily picks, season-long packages, promos, and plenty more. Having said that, don't go anywhere. We have our second of 3 roundtable games. This is a very, very interesting matchup, guys. 2 very good teams, 2 division rivals. Let's look at the Cardinals at the Brewers, currently Milwaukee. Very big line. This opened up, I saw this at 2 or 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at about $1.53, $1.55. This morning when I prepped for this show and did the banners, it went right up to 175. Total 7.5, over minus $1.20. Let's go to the body himself, Jesse Schule, Cardinals, Brewers.
Well, Joe, I'm glad I get to go first here because I think there's one angle to this game that we're probably all looking at, and that's the starting pitcher for the Cardinals, coming off that near no-hitter in his last start, Miles Mikolas. He went right into the 9th inning, right down to the final pitch, 1 pitch away from a no-hitter, and blew it. But the key stat there is not how well he pitched in his last start, but how many pitches he threw. He threw 129 pitches, and it's extremely rare in this day and age you see a starting pitcher throw over 100 pitches, but over 120 pitches is quite something. And that takes its toll on the guy's arm, so you can expect a shorter outing here today. Maybe he's not going to be as sharp. You look at the Brewers, they won 4 of their last 5. They're back in a first-place tie with the Cardinals. They got their Cy Young winner going today, Corbin Burns. He pitched 6 scoreless innings, striking out 11 against St. Louis earlier this season. He's coming off a big win over the Mets. I got to love the Brewers at home in this game with Corbin Burns going against fatigued Miles Mikolas.
Sports fans, Jesse Schule, who's doing great work over at SportsMemo, says he likes the Brewers. Jesse, let me ask you this. 1 hit away from a perfect, from a no-hitter. Let me rephrase it, from a no-hitter. Do you think that a guy like Mikolas can bounce back? I know that he threw 129 pitches, fatigue, going to take its toll on his next start. But do you think he mentally can come back from that? I mean, he pitched a great game, but yet mentally one out away. You think mentally he could bounce back from that?
I'm not going to count on any kind of mental problems because of that. I would think a professional pitcher would be able to bounce back from that. I mean, it's still a great game. It still looks great on his resume, but the physical aspect of throwing those 129 pitches, I can't imagine what my arm would feel like if I threw 129 pitches. I could tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen your arm. I'm betting that you could go 129 pitches. Sports fans, we're going to go over to Jeff Michaels over at JM Sports. Cardinals at Brewers, Milwaukee currently at 175, 7.5 over minus 120. Take it away, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the total at this one too, guys. Like Jesse said, with Mikolas going off that long outing last game, 129 pitches, fatigued arm is an arm that can get, taken advantage of. Corbin Burns hasn't been, exactly what we've seen out of a Cy Young level candidate, and he's got a 3.35 ERA against the Cardinals. In his last 4 starts, all 4 of them have gone over the total, and 5 out of his last 6 have gone over. But Milwaukee's done it as a team themselves. They've gone over the total in 7 of the last 11 games. And now, like we said, they have that fatigued arm that they're going up against. With Counsell as manager, even coming off that series, they're 17-5 over under after sweeping a 3-game series against the division. And Mikolas on the mound for St. Louis, he posted an impressive ERA on the road. But the run support has been there too, which has really caused his games to go over the total. The Cardinals have put up 24 runs in his last 3 starts, but his tendency to go over, he's gone over in 9 of his 13 starts this year. He's gone over in 6 out of 7 of his night starts and 4 out of 5 of his starts against the division. Plus, in his 10 starts in his career against Milwaukee, he's gone over in 7 of them. So the Cardinals have gone over as much as the Brewers have, going over in 8 of the last 9. And I think the bats really are active tonight against a Mikolas arm and coming from the Cardinals side as well. So I'm going over that 7.5.
Good breakdown, Jeff. Thank you. Over 7.5. Jeff, let me ask you this. Obviously, the Central, with less than a month before All-Star break, right now is a 2-horse race with Milwaukee and St. Louis tied, both at 38-30. 10.5 game lead over Pittsburgh. I mean, I think we could say that this is a 2-horse race, but this is a series. This series here, serious implications down the road. You know, this is big. You know, the rest of the divisions in this, the rest of the teams in this division, I mean, unless a miracle happens, they'll be playing golf come this postseason. Milwaukee, St. Louis, this is serious. As far as the series goes, is there a team that you like for the series, this series?
You know, I think on paper, I think St. Louis looks like the more consistent team from top to bottom through the lineup. I think St. Louis can get it into head-to-head, and I think playing against that division is really what all in all ends up, you know, pushing St. Louis, keeping this close at least, and if not pushing St. Louis over the top.
Good stuff. Sports fans, don't go anywhere. We have another roundtable game before we go into our best bet segment. Once again, after the show, head on over to sportsmemo.com for more information about daily picks, season long packages, promos, plenty more. The customer appreciation you receive from Sports Memo is unrivaled. We've got a slew of discounts. Tomorrow's $2 Tuesday. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Our third of 3 roundtable games, Jesse, Jeff, sports fans out there. Diamondbacks at Padres, currently San Diego minus $1.70. 7 over 120. You know, Padres right now playing some good ball. You know, they're battling with the Dodgers for that top spot right now, a half a game out. But at times this season, Arizona has played very well against good opponents. I'm interested to see how Jesse Schule breaks this game down. Jesse, Padres hosting Diamondbacks, San Diego 170, 7 over 120. Take it away.
Well, at first glance, the price of 170 looks pretty good, taking the Padres at home with Darvish pitching. But the problem is Manny Machado sprained his ankle last night. He leads the team in hits, home runs, batting average, RBIs, you name it. He's the man in San Diego. And without him, the offense is going to struggle a little bit probably. And you got Zach Davies going for Arizona. His numbers don't look that outstanding at 2-3 with a 3.78 ERA, but he's been pretty good lately. And his last start at Petco, he tossed 6 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit. Darvish also very good at home. I'm not a big Darvish fan because I don't think he has that consistency. He's kind of hit and miss, but he's been very good at home. 3-1 with a 1.35 ERA. And in his last start versus Arizona, another 6 scoreless innings in a victory. The Padres have gone under in 20 of their last 29 home games, and these two teams have gone under in 3 of the 4 head-to-head meetings this year. I think there's a little bit of value on the under, even though the total has been bet down from opening at 7.5.
Sports fans, Jesse Schule is doing great work over at SportsMemo. Says there's some value on the under. Interesting, Jesse. Let me ask you this: you mentioned Manny Machado. And that this offense may falter a bit. Does that scare you for a team like San Diego down the road, come, fighting for the pennant or fighting for the division for that matter, that without their best hitter, there's a few lineups in baseball that can go without their best hitter for a few days or even a few weeks and still survive. you're saying that this offense will falter. Does that scare you down the road with a team like San Diego?
It would if I thought he was going to be out for any length of time, but you'd think a sprained ankle, you should be, put some ice on it. We could expect him back in a couple days, and it shouldn't be a big issue. But if he's out for a week or more, it could begin to put them behind the eight ball a little bit.
Good stuff, sports fans, from Jesse Schule. Let's go to another leaderboard fixture over at Sports Memo. The new kid on the block, fresh off his tour. Jeff Michaels, JM Sports. Diamondbacks at Padres. San Diego 170, 7 over, minus $1.20. Take it away, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm right there with Jesse. I think I will add one piece to that. This Padres team, I think sometimes we forget about the fact that this Padres team is still without Tatis. That, it is something that they've almost become accustomed to, is playing without one of their better players. But I do think that, especially in the short term, their offense will falter. That it takes some getting used to and getting accustomed to get an offense to a level to be able to perform without somebody of Machado's caliber. But if you're going to do it in a game, you're going to do it in a game with Darvish on the mound. I mean, like Jesse said, his records have been impressive. His stats are impressive. And 9 of his 12 starts on the year have gone under the total. And all 5 of his, home starts have been under the total as well. But San Diego's 31-13 against NL teams hitting 250 or lower. And they're 6-16 under the total at home against NL teams hitting under 255. With the same record over under against teams with an on-base percentage under 325. So they're winning games, but they haven't really needed the production. The over-under total kind of shows you that they've kept it low, but Darvish has them, on the mound. And I do think that there's value in San Diego as well. But like Jesse said, with the money, I think the value is to be made on that total too. So I like the under the total as well, even at that 7.
Well, sports fans, great minds think alike. As Jeff says, he likes the under quite a little bit as well. Very good breakdown, Jeff. As usual, we come to expect that from you the last few weeks that you've been on the MLB show. We really enjoy your breakdowns. And, guys, he's doing some great work over at SportsMemo. Go over there after the show. Use some of those great discounts. Follow Jeff JM Sports. But don't go anywhere. We are going into our best bet segment. Very exciting, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this is where each of our contributors today is going to give you their best bet for today. Now, I will say Jesse's doing some great work over at SportsMemo. He's on multiple sport leaderboards. Go over after the show. Follow him. It'll pay for itself. Jesse is going to tell you what he's got going on tonight, maybe over the next few days that he's excited about. Then he's going to give you his best bet winner for today. Jesse, take it.
So as far as what I got going on at SportsMemo, I just put out Game of the Month with CFL for week 3. Off to a good start with CFL again this season. Finished with a great record last year, hitting 75% of my CFL picks since last October. That's quite a long stretch to be hitting 75%. So get that at SportsMemo. Get it today for $9 if you get in here early. As far as best bets go, I think you're going to want to mark down this date because this will be the first time this season and maybe the last time this season that I like the Pittsburgh Pirates. But the Pirates are playing the Cubs. The Cubs are a game and a half back in the standings. The Pirates have won more home games than the Cubs have won on the road. And Chicago sends out a struggling rookie pitcher, Caleb Killian. He gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, walked 5 in just 4 innings. In a 19-5 loss to San Diego his last time out. And the guy going on the other side for the Pirates, Brubaker, JT Brubaker. His record stinks, 0-7, 4.50 ERA. But don't let that record fool you. If this guy pitched for the Yankees or the Dodgers, he'd have a far better record. In fact, over his last 5 starts, 3.21 ERA is quite respectable. The Pirates did win a couple of those games, even though he didn't get credited for those wins. The Cubs are 5-17 in their last 22 games against a team with a losing record. So Chicago isn't just struggling, but they're not even beating teams that they should beat. And for the line here with the Pirates at a pick'em being the home team with the more experienced starting pitcher, they're not playing great, but they're perhaps playing a little bit better than the Cubs right now. I think the value is on the Pirates at home.
Sports fans, Jesse Schule says, mark this day on your calendar. The Pirates Take them Pirates today. You know, Jesse, a lot of teams look good when they're facing the Cubs. As a matter of fact, if I was a Cubs season ticket holder, I'd ask for my money back. And a lifetime of free hot dogs from the vendor outside. And they're just awful. Great breakdown, guys. Go over to SportsMemo after the show. Pick up one of those great discounts. Follow Jesse. Follow him all the way to the bank. Let's go to Jeff Michaels. Guys, he has been doing great. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. He's all over multiple sport leaderboards. He's breaking down great games. He's winning games for you. He's got some things he's excited about tonight, and he's got another free winner for you. Jeff, take it away, please.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We had a good weekend, another winning day yesterday, and $9 today. I got my top MLB play up on SportsMemo, up over 127 units in my last 93 money line MLB plays, and another big one up there for you on the site today. But when it comes to free best bets, I'm going San Francisco and Atlanta over that total. San Francisco's gone under the total recently, but they've played some struggling offenses in Colorado and even the Dodgers, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. And they allowed more than 4 runs just 2 times over that stretch. But now they're taking on an Atlanta team that's put up 5 or more runs in 6 of the last 8 games. And San Fran's 10-2-1 over under in the last 13 after a loss that went under the total. And they're 9-3 on the road after a game that went under the total. And excuse me, the other side's Atlanta's doing the same thing. They're coming off that shutout win that went under the total, and the Braves team hardly ever goes under the total in consecutive games this season. I mean, they're 16-3-1 over under in the last 20 games after a game that went under the total, and that includes 7-1 at home and 14-2 as a favorite. Not to mention Max Fried's out there, who's gone over the total in 5 of his last 7 starts. So I'm taking this one to go over, even with that pitching matchup.
Sports fans, even with the pitching matchup. JM Sports, Jeff Michaels says take over Giants Braves. By the way, guys, Jeff knows baseball. Just the other day, he was telling me before we went on live that he played against some current major league players back in the day in some state tournaments. Fared pretty well against them. Isn't that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, we had a nice little win against Eric Lauer on our way. We lost the state championship, but nice little runner-up title.
There you go. Hey, finished second in the state, and a state like where you're from is pretty impressive. You got to beat a current major leaguer. Kudos to you guys. Go over to Sports Memo. Follow Jeff. You'll follow him all the way to the bank. Now, I have a free play tonight, so I'm chiming in, guys. Time to turn down the volume on your tablets, your phones, and your PCs. I'm very excited here. After winning 3 consecutive MLB best bet releases, I finally dropped one yesterday. My best bets are on a 7-2 run and an overall riding a whopping 49-18 streak. Today, I have another best bet release for you to start off your week and start it off right. This is the best bet on the board. It's available right now at SportsMemo for just $9. Let's talk American League matchup. Blue Jays travel to Chicago to face the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field for Game 1 of this series. These two teams faced each other approximately 3 weeks ago in a 3-game series in which they combined for a total of 32 runs scored. All 3 of those contests went where? Over the total, guys. Going back a little further, these two teams have played to 4 consecutive overs. Coming into this matchup, Toronto, guys, 19 overs over their last 25 outings. Chicago's last 19 contests, 14 have gone over the total. Jose Berrios and Lance Lynn are scheduled starters today. Berrios has made 13 appearances this season, in which 10 outings have gone over the total, including 5 straight. Meanwhile, this is only Lynn's second appearance of 2022. He went 4.1 innings pitched a week ago, allowing 3 earned runs. By the way, that game did fly over the total. Both lines have started to heat up, while both pitching staffs have been absolutely deplorable. The Blue Jays staff ranks 18th, while the White Sox rank 21st. With the combination of 2 struggling starting pitchers and 2 lackluster bullpens, you can count on a lot of scoring once again in this matchup. Take the over, sports fans. It is a winner. Let's bring everybody back on. We've got a couple of announcements, and then I want to get closing thoughts and comments from both Jesse and Jeff. Guys, tomorrow is $2 Tuesday over at Sports Memo. Mikey Sports, Pure Lock, and Rocky Atkinson. You get each one of their big game winners for $2 a piece, or get all 3 for just $5. $5. Can't get a lap dance on a Boulder Highway strip club for $5, and those girls don't even have teeth. Anyway, sports fans, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Be sure to tune in every weekday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern to this show, Full Count, SportsMemo's MLB betting coverage show. Come to you live with special guests every day. We want to thank you for tuning in. Before we take off, I want to get some closing thoughts from Jesse and Jeff. Jesse, closing thoughts or comments?
Well, there's a big hockey game tonight, and I just want everybody to know, if you think the Stanley Cup finals are over because Colorado's up 2-0, think again and look for some angles to back Tampa Bay as a big underdog for the rest of the series.
Jeff, closing thoughts or comments for our viewers out there. It's Monday. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Monday night sports seem to be hockey tonight. Excited to watch that one. So that's something to keep our eyes on, Jesse. But guys, enjoy your Monday. Check out $2 Tuesday. We got some winners out there for you on SportsMemo today. So check out all the great cappers and come back and check us out tomorrow too.
Good stuff, Jeff. Always a pleasure. And sports fans, we would love it if you would help us reach our goal. Hit that subscribe button. We want to hit 5,000 subscribers this week. We need your help to do so. And don't forget that Football 100 discount code. You get the entire season, $7.99 plus wager bucks from your favorite capper or cappers. My friends, it's time to take off. Monday's in the bag, but be sure to tune in every day this week to the Full Count Show. John Ryan will be hosting tomorrow. Every day, tons of free winners and special guests. On behalf of Sports Memo, this is Joe D'Amico. Jesse, Jeff, good luck and have a winning day.